Hi guys, my name is Anna. You know that I'm from Ukraine, and I was in the Ukrainian war. I was in Ukraine when the war was started, when the Russian army came to my land, and I wanna share my experience. How was it? I'm gonna tell you about the war, about my experience in this war, and I made notes on my phone, and I will read you my story, how it started, how I came to Canada, and so on, step by step. I think I'm ready, but of course it will be difficult to make this video. My name is Anastasia. I'm from Kharkiv, Ukraine. I flew to Canada from Ukraine on April 14th. The war in Ukraine began in 2014 due to Russian aggression. But on February 24th, 2022, the active destruction of the cities of Ukraine by the Russian army began. Until February 24th, I had a happy life. I worked, blogged on TikTok, gained 500,000 subscribers on TikTok, went to concerts, traveled, loved my native and independent city of Kharkiv very much. My boyfriend and I dreamt of having children and building a house in Kharkiv. But on February 24th, quite recently, my life changed dramatically and everything will never be the same as it was before. How it all looked to me. I usually don't sleep at night and fall asleep in the morning. So it was on February 24th. Before bed, I read a book, scrolled my Twitter, interacted with people on social medias, and got ready for bed. It should have been an ordinary night. 5 a.m. Explosion. Glass and walls shook. I thought it was fireworks. I hoped it was fireworks, but it was too noisy to be fireworks. My mom and her husband woke up. They began to look out of all the windows except mine. They didn't understand where this explosion was. I was already a little sleepy and went out to the balcony. About 4 kilometers from my balcony, I saw a lot of fire, and in the distance, everything was in smoke. I called my mom and showed her this. My whole body was shaking. I drank 5 tablets of valerian and crawled under the covers. Started watching what was happening on social networks and realized that explosions had been and are from 4 in the morning all over Ukraine. My boyfriend didn't sleep either. I started calling all my friends. The whole Kharkiv woke up. Then it was already clear that no one would go to work. At 6 in the morning, my mother went to find out behind the basement. My mother's husband went to buy food, and my boyfriend and his mother came to our apartment. My boyfriend's apartment is very close to the border with Russia. Shelling throughout Ukraine continued. It was very noisy. We learned that a bomb shelter was made from the subway. The whole day on February 24th, we heard very noisy explosions and saw a lot of smoke, military vehicles, helicopters. In the evening, my boyfriend and his mother went outside to walk, get some air. It seemed to us that it was safer than sitting in an apartment. We walked for 4 hours and saw a lot of people in panic. People were with pillows and with animals. They were preparing to go to spend the night in the subway. We thought and decided that we would stay in the apartment, and if anything, we would sit in the corridor. We returned to the apartment, saw a couple of rockets that flew right over the roof. I came out on the balcony, it was over my roof. 2 Russian rockets. They saw the windows, had dinner, and went to bed. It was impossible to fall asleep because the explosions were very loud, and it seemed that they were about to hit the house. I didn't sleep for over a day. On February 25th, I decided to look at train tickets. It turned out that tickets were not sold and people were being taken out of Kharkiv on evacuation trains. I invited everyone to come with me to Lviv. It's the west, farther from aggressive Russia. I packed my suitcase but didn't go anywhere. I hoped that my relatives would agree and go with me. The explosions were already so strong and close that we hid in the corridor every evening. Houses were destroyed near my house. Rockets hit the intersection near my house. I cried a lot. On February 27th, my mother's friend and her daughter decided to leave on the evacuation train. My mom told me to go with them. I got dressed but couldn't leave because there is no car and taxis didn't go to my area because of heavy shelling. I called the taxi all day, about 100 times, but they constantly refused me because it was dangerous, and I didn't leave. The next day, February 28th, I managed to call a car, but my mother told me that I didn't need to take suitcase. I took one backpack with documents, a couple of things, and left everything in Kharkiv. I didn't even take a laptop. I later regretted it because I need a laptop now. The taxi driver brought me to the station. When I was waiting for the evacuation train, I saw a lot of tanks and corpses of people. For the first time, I went out into the street after February 24th. Near the station, shots were heard somewhere in the distance. I boarded an evacuation train in an unknown direction. The train was overcrowded. There were 16 of us for 6 seats. When the train left, I asked the conductor where we were going, and she replied that we were going to Lviv. It was scary to drive when we were passing Kiev. Very loud explosions were heard. We drove for days. On March 1st, I went on an evacuation train from Lviv to Poland, from Poland to Germany. I lived in Germany for 1.5 months with friends, got a visa to Canada, and now I'm here, lonely, unemployed, without my house, without my laptop, without my things, and without my family, and without my free and independent country. Glory to Ukraine.